T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world. You're watching Retic Reflections. I'm your host, Rob Roush. This is your co-host, Derek Stack. And we've got a great one for you tonight, boys and girls. So buckle up and listen up.
Hey, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome to Retic Reflections. We have our guest of the evening, Mr. Jordan of Heartland Reptiles. And it's going to be a great one. Welcome in with us while we sit down and figure this out. All right. Jordan, can you hear us?
It's just like with Alex, I can't hear you guys.
Yay!
Oh, boy.
I'm going to leave and come back. Hold on.
Yes. Sounds good. Come on back. All right. Hopefully that fixes it. But weird how everything goes perfect in sound check, and then, things just tend to work their way into being a problem. But
life happens, brother. Life happens.
Yeah. He'll be right back. But how you doing, Rob?
I'm doing amazing. I feel really good today. I feel excited. I feel happy. All those good things. Jordan, we got you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Good. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Check. You guys can hear me too?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank goodness. Whew.
Yay. We did it.
For once, the in and out worked for us. But welcome, Jordan.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. And welcome to Retic Reflections. We were just, shooting the shit, waiting for you to get back on. But, great to have you. I know we're going to talk about a few different things tonight. But do you want to kick things off with maybe a little introduction about yourself, where you got started, or, how things are going with you?
Yeah. I'm Jordan Carpenter, Heartland Reptiles. Grew up in rural Kansas, chasing anything that moved. A lot of that had scales. And growing up, I'd have like wild caught animals for a week or two and then, release them. Had a lot of different things, but really didn't actually get into my first purchase reptile was a Brazilian rainbow boa. Going into college, had a handful of different types of animals, panther chameleon, Chinese water dragon. And then got back into it, got a hognose as an icebreaker for my wife into getting her into reptiles because she thought they were cute. And I planned on a bunch of different species, but I figure I got to get a retic first because I knew I wanted one. Because I could honestly say after that, everything else will be smaller. Nothing will be as big as that. So I just fell in love with the species, and going on 7 years since I got Mila, my first girl. She's 25% Kalatoa, 25% Jamp Platinum. I love platinums, love bright yellows. Yeah. And I wasn't really happy with options out there for personal reasons. I've done 21 years in metal fabrication. And so I started building my own enclosures for myself just because I felt like I could do it better than what was available.
Heck yeah, man. I can see him behind you. It looks great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It does look really good. Nice and clean. The all white, I couldn't do it, man. Whenever I have something that's all white, it immediately goes to shit. I mean,
the beauty of it is just some water and a wipe down, and it cleans up really well. The powder coat's non-porous, so that's my favorite thing. I got frustrated with stains and stuff like that, and I knew that this wouldn't do that. So, plus I can see the dirt. I know if it needs to be cleaned really easy with the white.
That's the
How
one
does that-
benefit is you know where the poop is. You're never asking that question like you are with the dog. Where's the poop?
Yeah. There's definitely times when it's like, man, black would be nice so I could, not see, but it's better that I do. That way I'm on it,
How does
Hey.
that powder coat hold up to the heat and the humidity and all that?
Fine. It's a baked on finish, so it goes on as a powder and then you bake it, and it gels and then it hardens and cures. So heat's no issue whatsoever. It holds up to humidity. I mean, we're not putting salt water in it or anything like that. So the powder holds up even if it were to fail. The metal's aluminum, so it's not going to rust or anything like that.
Oh, aluminum. That's nice. Lightweight.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a third of the weight, and for what I'm doing, it's plenty strong. So, the first U.S. ARC auction I went to in Dallas, I donated one of my 6-footers, and Vanessa from U.S. ARC laid on the floor, and it's on casters, so it's not like setting flush, She laid
Yeah.
on the floor. Another gal named Brittany laid on the shelf inside, and then Phil Goss and I stood on top of it while they auctioned it off. So
No
the
kidding.
girls
That's
are
awesome.
petite, but
Wow.
Phil and I and all 4 of them, we had to have been over 600 pounds. So
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. Well, I don't want to. That's ignorant.
Quite the endorsement. Yeah.
shooting low out of respect for the ladies, right? I figure
Yeah.
Phil, I know I'm over 200 pounds. I'm sure Phil is close to it.
And 100
They're over
each.
100 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You guys were close to 3/3 of the weight.
Yeah.
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 So do you have set sizes? Do you do custom? What do you got going on there?
Everything started as custom. Like the stacks behind me, it's all one cabinet with different enclosures. I built those. That was the first idea. The floors and all sorts of stuff. Like everything comes out of it, so you could combine the top and the bottom, or then one next to it, into a 36-inch tall instead of 218s. So those are like the ultimate customizable setup. I'm the only one that has them. Nobody's purchased those, which I'm happy to have them. They work great for me. But basically, I got into the chondro enclosures, so I've got 18-inch cubes, 30 by 18 by 18, and then standard 4 by 2 by 2, kind of the entry enclosure size, and that can be you can put a divider in that to make it 2 2-foot cubes for the chondro and arboreal type stuff. And then the 6 and 8 foot I've built so far. I'd like to build a 10-foot, just frankly because I want to, but I don't have the space or an animal that needs it. So
I can get you
just
one of
if
those.
somebody wants. I would like to have I don't know that I need a 20-foot snake, but I would like to have a bigger lineage retic. Now that I'm in it and I've just fallen in love with them, I don't plan to breed it or anything like that, but like
Yeah.
Karma was for you, like, just my big baby kind of thing.
That was my immediate thought, was like, oh, like karma. Like
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
big. Speaking of
I
going
love
back to what you were saying about, starting big with the retics, basically anything other than that, you're golden, man. Like you're working down the totem pole at that point.
Right.
know?
And I've found one with smaller lineage, or at least as small as I could do in my budget at that point and what I wanted. I wanted a 12-ish, give or take, foot retic. I didn't want a 6, 7, 8 foot retic. I wanted something closer. But that being said, I'd never worked with or even touched a retic before I got my first one. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to everybody. I did probably a year and a half of research beforehand, but as far as physical interaction, there's nothing that can substitute that. But
Did you say you started with a baby or you started with an adult?
she was a baby. She came in a tin,
Okay.
like this big. So
Okay,
I know where
cool.
you got her.
yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say because the warning sign is the animal itself when it's an adult, like you already
Right.
you already know what you're in for.
Yeah, no, but I fell in love with her. I had plans. I like to draw up plans and just sketch and play with stuff, and that's how these became. But I had a wall drawn up with I kind of Tetris together different sizes that from my research were appropriate for different species. You know, I wanted a boa and I wanted a Sumatran short tail, like handful of things, and it was all Tetris together. And I got Mila, and inside of a couple of weeks, I literally threw those drawings away. I was sold. I just wanted to work with more like her, you know. She's unlike any reptile I'd interacted with up to that point.
How many
And
you
I
got
like
now?
I have 14 of them right now.
Nice.
One is down in Texas on a loan, trying to continue pure Kalatoa line. So that was well worth it to send her down there and let that project continue. But 13 of them are here right now.
What's your Kalatoa line?
Well, Lucas produced her, and then she went to a guy that really great guy. Life happened, and he had to get rid of some of his animals, well, all of his animals. And I knew she was F1. I knew the lineage. Like I knew that it was legitimate because I knew, you know, confirmed with Lucas that he came from her. And she was just too important to a wild caught bloodline. I, at the time, really didn't care so much about pure breedings, pure locality breedings. My focus and you know, appreciation has shifted quite a bit since then, but I was too worried about her getting lost into the pet ether. And so I bought her from Chad, and I was, you know, happy to have her. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have a pure super dwarf female for breeding and stuff like that. But Lucas asked if he could, you know, take her back for breeding loan to continue into F2 line Kalatoa. And I felt like that was something cool to be done. And I don't have an I don't have a Kalatoa to put to her. So.
Very cool. What else you got? Retic was.
I've got a pure Coyote. Well, I have a male and female pure Coyote. I have 83 or 87% anery that's got Madu, Kalatoa, and I want to say Karampa. I'm not sure. Susie, you know Susie.
Yeah,
I got Susie. Yes, it's Susie's old snake. Some life events happened, and she asked if I would.
Susie snake.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a snake at Reach Out that was named Susie.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I know Susie. Yeah.
So I have
Retic,
her male
lady,
slim. Yeah. With how many names there are up there, I mean, you're gonna have overlap.
Yeah. Sorry, Susie, if you're watching.
Yeah. But and then I've got a Motley GC that's 66 Pos Het Snow. Her sister right above her is Lavender Motley Pos Anery as well. I've got a Tiger Het Snow that's 50% Kalatoa. Eve is a Platinum Sunfire Anery Het Purple female. And she paired with my Super Maluku, my Ternate Kalatoa cross.
Yes.
And that everything else didn't go well for this season. I only did 3 pairings. I had 5 or 6 females that probably, if I had tried to feed, probably could have gone. But I knew if I paired 6, I would get 6 clutches. And if I paired 3, I might get 1. You know, it's just drought or you know, drown.
Right, one extreme or the other.
Right. And the Coyote girl, I thought she reabsorbed. She took a small meal, so I thought we're back on food. And then I came home from work one day, and there's 2 eggs sitting on the floor of her enclosure. And none of the eggs have been any good. They've all gone bad. She would lay like 2 or 3 every other day, and just like held on to them. And so
you said those were slugs?
Well, they looked viable. There was 1 or 2 slugs, but the rest of them looked viable. I think she just, after talking to some people, I think she held on to them too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Because
goes
I've
past
heard
none
that
of them.
I've heard that they'll sometimes prematurely lay some to relieve some pressure.
Yeah,
Is that a thing? Like, I think.
I feel like I've heard
It
that.
is,
I
but it
don't.
isn't in this scenario. I don't think when they lay a couple at a time like that. Usually they're all infertils, and it just for whatever reason didn't take.
Oh, okay.
Like you said, she held on to him too long. She was probably past day 40, right?
Well, and I messed up with everything going on. I saw her shed, and I told myself I know I'll remember, and then time passed, and I completely just crapped the bed on that one. So
Yeah.
it's my fault that I wasn't paying attention to what I needed to. But lesson learned, improve on it. I have a Anery Tiger female that is also het purple. She's 50% Kalatoa and I think 9% Jamp. She came from Kagan Andrew, as
Oh, yeah.
well as Solaire came from her as well, and he's a Motley Tiger Snow, 50% Kalatoa, and I think 12 or 9, the opposite of Basil, the female. And so, but I paired both of those. I thought she looked thick. I think when I thought she was growing the eggs, I think it was actually the ovulation, and I think I paired too early. Um, she ended up reabsorbing. She looks great now, which I'm grateful for. But Eve is the one that if I could have picked one to be successful, I would have picked her, just for personal passion of that particular project. And she is 28, or I'm sorry, tomorrow will be 4 weeks past her shed.
And that was the
She's,
Super Maluku.
yeah. And
Nice.
she's looking quite thick. She's really, her front third is starting to look pretty slim. I mean, all you can tell all the energy is shifting that way. There's the last 5 to 7 days, probably I've seen a pretty significant change in mass towards the back.
Yeah, you'll see
And
her start
so,
cruising the cage now, looking for a
yep,
good place. Yep.
What's the
she's been
average?
cruising.
What's the average day count for after a prelay shed until you usually would see a clutch?
I've been told 5 weeks. I initially thought 4, so I thought it was going to be, around tomorrow. Rob would know much better than me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them go as early as I think the earliest I've ever seen was 26, 27 days. I've seen it as high as in the 40s. Typically, though, you're right around that 30 days.
And
Well,
could you?
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, could you gentlemen elaborate on like what a clutch size and how what the size is like and how they differentiate in size from mainland to dwarf to super dwarf, as far as like expected clutch sizes?
Well, I've only had the one clutch from Mila. This will hopefully be my second. Mila is 25 Kalatoa, 25 Jamp. Her first clutch, I don't trust my ability to palpate or lack thereof ability.
Mhm.
I thought I felt 8 lumps in her, and in my head I was like, okay, maybe that's pairs. So I said maybe she'll drop 16. She dropped 23 eggs on her first
Nice.
clutch, which from
Surprise.
what everybody says is bigger than a standard first clutch in most cases.
Yeah.
Eve, when I palpated her, and I still don't trust my ability well, I felt 13 or 14 on different
Uh-oh.
occasions. So hopefully my palpating skill has gone up since the first time, but we'll see, I guess.
32
Right,
eggs.
right.
For the pairing and what I want to do and having options to hold back, I wouldn't be terribly upset. So
I bred my Super Maluku this year too, right?
I thought you did. Yeah. What did you pair with?
Yeah, so I paired. I have a couple of Joe Hall snakes here on breeding loan, and his one snake, I believe it's Aphrodite. She's an 87.5% SDD, and she's a visual anery. So I bred my Super Maluku, and for those who don't know, a Super Maluku is simply a 50% ternate, 50% Kalatoa. And I have 2 males and a female. So I ran that one male to her, got 6 eggs. Through incubation, I've lost 2. So I've got 4 eggs left, and they're due in about a week or 2 now.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited, man. Super excited. No, you're talking 93 something odd, point something odd, whatever percent. So really high percentage of super dwarf.
Plus that ternate influence. The more I've looked at like that and Sula and some of like that influence, man, the last year, well, couple years, that's why I bought Baraka, is because I saw what was being done, and yeah, I think you'd be the first one to have a clutch with one of those if you're that close to them coming out.
I believe I am. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not a race.
No, but no, not at all. And I know that
Yeah.
kind of stuff doesn't thrill you, but it's kind of cool, you know.
Oh, it thrills me. It thrills me.
You know, a little feather in your cap at least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got one or
You
two.
know, when Rob comes into work glowing and gleeful like a little like 6-year-old girl, I'm gonna be like, oh, you got those eggs hatched, huh?
Man, when they hatch out, I might take the day off. I'll tell you that. I think they're gonna be pretty neat.
That would blow my mind if you took a day off. I'd be like, is he okay? We need to check on him. I'm gonna go check on him.
On that day, you will be better than okay, but you should go check on him to see the babies.
and then I'll have to take the day off too, you know, just because, you know, I mean, I have to make sure he's good for the rest of the day, you know.
And the babies too. I mean, he's going to be over the moon and bouncing off the walls, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's good. Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty excited. I'm gonna be pretty excited. Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope that works out for you too, man. I mean, if you're a few weeks away from that, 2 weeks, is that what you said?
We're tomorrow will be 28 days since she shed.
Oh, so you're on egg watch.
Yeah, which is great because I leave a week from Friday to go to Florida. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jerry Wolf. He has a YouTube channel, does a lot with monitors out down in Florida, and so I'm gonna go down to a little Patreon party because I just want to see his enclosures and what he's built. I think it's phenomenal what him and now Kagan have done. And I don't know if they'll catch this, but I saw that they actually got engaged the other day, which is really, really cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Well, hey, congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, man, the people that really go all out on those monitor enclosures, man, props to them, man. I've seen some really crazy stuff out there, and you know, these animals deserve it. I mean, but to see what people come up with is really wild sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think they have so there's 4 rows of enclosures, and they're like 12 or 15 feet wide in each row. And then each enclosure, I don't know males and females get what, but there's a smaller one and a bigger one staggered. So it's like 6 feet or 8 feet wide and then like 12 feet wide. And I think there's like 10 or something in each row. So we're talking huge outdoor setup that they've built. And the hallways have wire mesh on top. So it's like an airlock for the enclosures so nothing gets out. And then on one side, they've built like a whole area where they can bring the monitors out and let them get exercise. And it's like the width of all 4 rows and I don't know, 15 feet.
And might as well buy out a cul-de-sac of houses and give each monitor pair a house, you know?
Right.
No kidding. Well, speaking of like eggs and stuff, though, Jordan, do you make incubators?
For me, I've made my own, but no, I don't. I do think that what's out there is set up a little bit better. I haven't tried it. I don't know. I'm talking out on my backside with this, but the metal, it is going to allow temperature transfer better. The powder coat helps, but not the same as, like PVC or insulation is going to be significantly better to keep it stable. I think people are better, making one out of a beverage cooler. I have done the igloo route. I think there are very good ways that are much more cost effective that you don't have to risk the potential well-being of the eggs by cutting.
And we should make a tier list video about at-home incubators. You know, what's the best quality? That would be funny.
Yeah. I know where my vote would be.
Igloo S tier.
Is that what you use, Rob?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same exact thing that Garrett uses.
Well,
Still does.
I bought a cooler to make one that style, but since I wasn't expecting eggs from Basil, when I came down and saw them, I drug out that cooler that I used for Mila's clutch, got the shower going, got the temp gun, got the water to temp, put the water heater, and I scrambled to get that thrown together in about 15 minutes so that the eggs had something. I mean, it turned out to be nothing anyways, but, it's
I
not
think
a
a lot
bad
of people
setup.
have had that moment happen to them.
Yeah.
Now, both of these snakes are first-time breeders too?
Basil, the one that dropped the bad eggs, is not. She had a clutch in 2022, I believe. Maybe
Okay.
it may have been 23. I can't remember. But the male I have is from that clutch, and he is, we believe, anery. So we're taking him back to her to prove out the pure anery Coyote line was the goal.
What do you think happened there with that one?
I don't know. I question humidity, but not so much humidity. I don't know if hydration. I mean, I'm on top of waters and stuff like that, but I was trying to think of what would back her up, right? Like she went off food like normal. I tried last year and nothing happened. So when it didn't happen this year, I didn't really think much of it. I just maybe she was a one and done animal. I don't know. But that's my second eggs that have ever come out of an animal. So I don't feel that I have the knowledge or the authority to really speculate too much. I'm still trying to learn about it myself.
If you need some help, man, you should give me a holler, right?
Yeah, no, I will take you up on that.
Yeah,
I
for
will.
sure.
We're all forever students.
If you want to give me a holler, like at any time, and we could start talking about how I would personally try to transition her or manipulate her a little bit to try to get her to go, I'd be more than happy to help you out with that one.
No, I will take you up on that. I appreciate it because I've got for next year. I'm looking at some significant changes potentially, and that will allow for a lot more focus on breeding and putting or having the ability to put in the time needed for those potential clutches. So I'm going to be really trying to drive that hard for this coming fall winter.
If you need anything, man, please feel
appreciate
free to reach out, brother. I'll help you with whatever you need.
Yeah.
Jordan, I think you mentioned humidity. I believe, Rob, you've said that humidity is a big factor, right? With getting them going, or from what you believe, through experience, getting them to get started or what have you.
Yeah. So all I noticed is that if everything's going right, they're well fed and you're doing intros and whatnot, and you jack at humidity up big time at the right time, it really does help. And the females are a lot more accepting, we'll say.
Okay.
But we can definitely go over something, Jordan, if you want to, whether it's just the one snake or if you want to sit down and figure out something for all of them. I'll help you out, brother.
I appreciate
Maybe
it.
Rob can show you his patented palpating ability as well.
I believe I have shown you, though, haven't I?
Yeah. No, I've tried to learn. I've tried to learn and watch others, and they've tried to show me with all they've got. But I sports wise, I was never a touch or finesse guy. Right? Wrestling, rugby, golden. Catching a needled in pass, probably not in the cards.
So when you do it and you're holding them, you're pushing your fingers up in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing that, if you had a paper towel underneath your hand wrapped around them and you're pushing in, it gives you like that perfect amount of friction and non-friction for them to pass through and feel it just right.
Okay.
I don't know if you've tried that with the paper towel or not, but
I've tried with a paper towel, or I tried with a towel one time, which obviously way too thick. But I think part of my problem is when I'm squeezing, I mean, this is upside down, but I think I was trying to squeeze too flat instead of.
What I want to do is I have like a little thing there I can't see. So yeah, instead of squeezing down, I kind of arch in and I feel with just the tips. And like if you're looking at the rib cages like this, I want my hand to be like just inside that rib cage, but hitting so I can feel all those bumps right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I
Does
think
that
I
look
was
weird at all?
I was tracking with you if it matters. I think I was trying. I
Thank
was
you for the
expecting.
visual. You know, yeah.
Absolutely.
I do that all the
Audio
time. The
listeners,
thing
you have
here
to
with
tune in.
that, and
Yeah, it's got to go in there.
yeah, you
You
hold
put
your
your
tongue
finger
just
up
right.
there and you do a little twist, and then you do the reach around, and then you know,
And if you
all this
just
and that.
wiggle them a little bit, I feel like that helps.
And
Okay.
that's basically Rob in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, there's all kinds of little tips and tricks like that, man. For real, reach out to me, brother.
All right,
There's
I will.
no reason you should struggle. We've been friends too long, my man.
It's true. It's true. I just, I'm swamped. I know everybody else is swamped. Try to do my own research, but no, I'll lean on you.
Yeah, please do. I think I can help you out, man.
I'm
I'd like to see you
confident.
produce a few clutches. Plus, I'd like to compare Super Malukus together.
Yeah. No, I'm ecstatic. When Adler got his and I got mine about the same time, we were constantly sending pictures back saying how much better ours was than the other person's, just all in good fun, of course. But
yeah,
I'm excited because Eve, I love the Platinum Annery Sunfire for the colors, and she's a great example of it in my opinion, but she's got an awesome floating dorsal stripe. Her last 40%, she's got no rosettes, which I love rosettes, but on her it just looks great. So there's no rosettes, so you have that yellowish green gold down the side, a nice black line for being a super dwarf cross, and then a nice solid beautiful kind of goldish brown on the back. And I'm hoping that thick border that the Super Maluku has will help accentuate that, and I want to drive that into the Sunfire shape and keep the Annery and Platinum going and work it through generations to make a really cool example of it.
Yeah,
I want
if
to do
that Super
stuff.
Maluku doesn't, I would recommend Halma.
Yeah.
And if you
The
don't
only
have,
question I had about Halma is because I've seen they're so much thicker, but would that be counterproductive for chasing the really bright yellowish green, or is that going to be overcome by the color change from the morphs?
So I completely understand what you're saying. I believe, I mean, nobody's done it, right? I tried to put Sunfire and Platinum into Halma this year, and unfortunately she didn't go. But what I think is if you look at the Halmas towards the end of that tail where it's almost like a solid black, you see slight pattern, and that pattern is in yellow.
Okay.
So it might help it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More yellow equals more green when you put Annery in there, right?
Right.
So I think that it would look really cool. A Sunfire, Annery, Platinum, Halma. If the Super Maluku doesn't give you that look, is all I'm saying. I think that you have some really nice snakes with the Super Maluku in there, but yeah.
You just got to dare to dream.
The project
go out
can branch
and
out into different avenues.
I didn't hear either one of you.
No, I was just saying you got to, it's all theory crafting. You just got to go out there and try it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. What were you saying, Jordan?
It wasn't important because I forgot.
All right.
I think we were just shooting the shit, really. I mean, we're just filling dead space. But did we want to? Were there any other specific questions related to the, enclosure sizes in the chat? If anybody has any questions about, maybe they're trying to get their first retic or anything, or anyone wants to, ask a direct question to either Jordan or Rob, feel free to type in the chat. I'll be keeping that monitored and we'll communicate that, and we're always happy to interact. So just let us know. Otherwise we're here. We're here chilling, reflecting, doing our thing. So, let us know. But Rob, I mean, the other day. It was really enlightening going to your place and seeing all the different retics that you had, going out, bringing them out in the sun. I mean, just seeing them in their, like, in the grass doing their thing. I couldn't believe just how impressive these animals are when they get to those sizes. I mean, the pattern's not diluted at all. Like, it's just absolutely stunning. Like the most HD 1080p patchwork quilt of an animal. Really, really nice, man. It was a really good time coming out there.
Thanks, man. You're one of the few people who have seen my collection, so I appreciate that, man. I like this, one of my biggest passions. So yeah, I appreciate the compliment, brother. And Jordan, you're gonna have to come out, man. You're gonna have to come out. I need you to vend the Southeast Reptile Show, man.
Man, I would love to. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard a lot of great things about all the effort that Bob puts into it. And I'm excited to see that, man. I've seen with that, the All-American Reptile and Plant Expo, and like, I like to see new shows because I think like Enclosures, right? Like, or whatever it is, having more people approach it in different ways, I think forces everybody to grow and improve. So I'm excited that there's some new big shows, and I want to make it to them. It's just, I could go to see it, but to drive that far and vend is a long drive.
Not when you got a brother that lives out here, man. I'm 30 minutes from the venue. Come on out.
I got to get there though, Rob. That's probably like a 18-hour drive, 20-hour drive with a trailer.
He's got
it's
the
18 hours between friends.
I mean, I'd give you 18 hours to come see you. I would.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great show. I think it's probably one of the best shows I've ever been. I really do. And, just excited to do it every time.
Yeah.
Every time. August 1st and 2nd, by the way.
Okay. All right.
If you want to come out.
We're not sponsored, but we wouldn't mind.
No, we don't mind any sponsors. You want to sponsor these glasses? You can. Don't sponsor the glasses. What else you got going on, brother?
Well, I got the new fabrication shop going, got the laser up and running. So I've
seen that video. It looked good.
Thank you. I've got 15 enclosures that I'm gonna get knocked out, get powder coated, and get out to people. A couple people, Aiden Bradley and another gentleman, have been more than patient. They purchased enclosures before while I was in the process of transitioning from having others make them for me, and I told them that up front. I thought I would be up and making them faster than I was, but finally getting there and excited to get those kicked out, and that'll allow me to make myself some more 6-footers. I want to play with some design ideas I have for a completely different approach. I mean, it's still going to be powder coated aluminum, but something completely different that I'm really excited to try.
So in a different life, I was a CNC machinist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just dying to ask you, what kind of CNCs you got there, brother?
I only have the one. So I brought a 1200 watt fiber laser, and it's kind of a jack of all trades. It's slick. It's got a gun that will cut and weld. You can freehand cut, you can weld with it. And then it mounts inside a 4-foot by 4-foot CNC cabinet. And that's how I do all the programming in and cut everything on there. My only real drawback to it is my cutting bed is 2x2. It's got a pass through, so I can do infinite lengths, but I can only do 2-foot panels or width at a time. But other than that, man, it'll rip through just about anything. That video I put up on YouTube was 1/8-inch carbon steel, and it'll go up to 1/4-inch carbon, and I don't know what thickness for aluminum it'll go up to, but it's way thicker than I need. I think it'll do like 7mm aluminum.
I was gonna say like 3 feet.
Yeah, it might be a little bit overkill. They had an 800 watt version, but I didn't want to get that and be like, and then realize something could be designed different or some element needed 1/4-inch plate, and not be able to do it. So I went all in. I got that. I got a little manual box and pan brake. It's just a little 48-inch
Oh yeah.
box and pan brake. But so I cut it on the laser, bend it on the brake, rivet and weld it together and powder coat it, send her out.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. That speaks to a certain part of me that not a lot of people know about the CNC machinist.
A lot of metal fab people, whether it's machining or whatever, like you can tell like it just scratches an itch. Like I love metalwork. I just do.
I miss it for sure. I would love to buy a little CNC machine and just play around. I tell you that. It'd be a lot of fun.
There's some slick little
I'd like to
lasers
take a peek at the I'd like to take a peek at the blueprints to see what you're coming up with.
You want to look at my blueprints? I love that, dude.
I wasn't talking to you this time.
Oh.
The new one, like a lot of things, I am ecstatic about the capabilities of this machine, but my mind works old school. I draw things out on paper, I tinker, I draw on grid paper, and I just like it better. I don't know, it just makes my mind work better. So this is sketched out and it's in my head. I know how I'm going to do it. I got a wild hair one night and I stayed up till 5 a.m. building out the design and getting all the material price list built up. So I wanted to see if the idea is actually viable for myself. And then if I can do it for myself, is it viable, that I could actually be able to sell these? Is it worth what it would cost, kind of thing? So I think I'm going to try and knock out 3 of them at the first run. And one of the materials, well, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm trying to I believe I figured out a way where I can have these with a universal rock side and back.
Yes.
I'm not naive to the fact that my enclosures are more expensive than most. If you're
That was
gonna
my next question.
If you're gonna pay for it, and like my goal has always been to build the best enclosure that I am capable of. Not saying that they couldn't be done better, best I can do. And I wanted something, how can I approach this where, a lot of people want to decorate their enclosures and I'm all for it. But people, like I've had people say, I hate drilling into the enclosure, even to mount like a light. And in my head, I'm like, that's just part of it, right? It's just, you punch a hole in it, touch up paint if you want, and you're good. Yep. I don't think about the fact that some people are like, I don't want to damage this or put holes or ruin it in their mind. And I'm like, punch holes wherever you want. Like they're meant to be customizable. Yeah. And I haven't seen much of that, which, I mean, it's yours, do whatever you want. My mind works different. I thought people would take these and put a bunch of stuff in them. And I think part of it is they don't want to alter it. I also think I assume people can build more than the vast majority of people, like just being handy kind of thing. And I'm
and a lot of people just want to plug and play these days, you purchase the enclosure. If I have to pay an extra 150, 200, however much it is, for it to be, snapped together and it's already got a design in there, like, people will pay for that, but in this day and age, if you go the extra mile to make that an option, people will pay for it.
Oh yeah. I've had a lot of people ask if I provide lighting, heat panels, stuff like that. I haven't yet. Fire scares me greatly. Liability scares me as much. And I would hate for something to happen to somebody's home, whether it was my fault or not, have animosity built. I would rather let people handle that on their own. I've told people, tell me what you're putting in it. Now that I know that people don't want to put their own holes in, tell me what the dimensions are and where you want it. I can put the holes in for you before we powder coat it. So it's ready, but
is it thick enough to put threads so you can grab a screw or put one of those little rivet things in there or something? Or
it's 90 thousandths aluminum, so you could thread it, but it wouldn't be viable. So
You'd catch one.
A lot of this stuff has the cinch nuts where it pinches on the metal and then that cap is threaded. But that's only for the portholes that cover the holes on the ones that I have, like the junction holes between them, those deals.
Oh, they can
Everything
travel
else,
in between cages.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's
So that's one thing. Like when it comes, sorry, I told you guys, I'll go squirrel on you.
go squirrel. I
But
love it.
but like, so these are grow ups, right? They look small. They're 4 feet wide, 2.5 deep, and 18-inch tall. I don't believe that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that any retic should be in a 4x2.5 by 18 its whole life,
I agree.
unless it's basically viewed as like a dog with a kennel, right? Like that's where you sleep, but you're always out, kind of thing. But that's where the playground came, and the idea was from Garrett when I was up there. And
Yep.
I talked to him. I was like, dude, I can build that. I'm going to put that into my enclosure plan. And so that was my solution for allowing these animals to stay in there a little bit longer than I would without that, as far as how big they've gotten, because I can open up, just pull out a slider, and they have 6 or 7.5 feet of vertical space by 2.5 by 18. So it's not a huge floor plan, but they have their enclosure plus the height to get exercise. I haven't done it, but only because none of the animals in it are breeding. But you could, in theory, open up 2 and allow for passive breeding, allow the male to go find the female. But a lot of that stuff is, I think there's ways to get around like having to have an 8 or 10 foot enclosure for a small snake. I'm hesitant to say that because people catch snippets, right? And they just remember a sentence. And so somebody's going to say, well, you said my retic can live in a 4 foot. No, I said it can if it has a playground and it's out all day or whatever the case may be. You know, like Nicole with Lady Tiss Exotics and Abby, Curly Hair Keeper, like their snakes are always out. I think it's awesome. And so, and they still give their animals big enclosures, but their enclosures might as well be kennels for nighttime, you know.
Oh yeah. I've been to
and
Abby's. I can't speak of the other, but I've been to Abby's, and her cages are
yeah,
absolutely amazing, man.
yeah, it's awesome. And
The
I haven't been to
size.
Nicole's, but I know, like I've seen videos of her. She has a retic that's favorite spot, I think, is in one of her closets. Like she knows that's where that female's gonna go, and she's gonna just chill wherever. But I think that the whole caging debate, unfortunately, is probably similar to the what percentage, what size is it going to be? There's
Ooh,
too
yeah.
many factors to give a hard, fast rule. And I don't mean to say that as cliche or a cop out, but there's so many factors into, is your snake getting what it needs with this size, right?
Absolutely.
My tiger female, she is not active. She's not mean. She's never taken an aggressive swing at me, but she's kind of a runner. She would rather I not be the monkey holding her. And so, you know, she's been with me for right at 5 years now. So it's not like it's, you know, been a month. And we've worked at it. She's gotten a little better, but I think that's just her personality. Maybe it'll change one day, maybe it won't. So she honestly seems to do a little bit better in this 4 foot. And the sides of it are 6 inches on each side. So the opening's only 3. It's not as good for viewing, but I do think it makes especially smaller animals feel a little bit more secure, like they're looking out a hole instead of just a hole open front.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, only because you brought it up, and I just said something to somebody earlier today. I was trying to help somebody out. When you're dealing with a snake that's a little flighty, a little defensive, call it what you will. What I typically do, and not that you're asking, but this is just the way my brain works, man. I hear something and I think, oh, I think I can help, and I try to help. So take it with a grain of salt. But what I typically do is I'll set up a really big tote that snake has plenty of room in, and I'll put it like halfway full of water, so that snake is just constantly swimming in there. And it sounds kind of bad, or it could sound a little bad, like you were saying. People take a little snippet and they destroy it and turn it into whatever you want. So have fun with this, guys. Let them wear themselves out a little bit so they're not as full of energy and just ready to go. Mm-hmm. And if you work with that snake for a little bit after it's swam for whatever, however long you want to do it, right? Until you feel like it's a little bit not full of energy and ready to go, right? You work with that snake a little bit when it's a little tired and then put it away. It's on a good note, right? You're ending on a good positive note. Sometimes that helps. I also do the 1/3 rule. I don't touch the first third or the back third. I play right in that middle third, because there's anybody who's owned a retic knows that if you touch them too close to the head, they're liable to come back and bite you. Mm-hmm. If you tap them on the tail, a lot of people try to do that to get them in the cages. I'm not a fan of that. Do what you want, not judging. But you tap them on the tail, they'll come back and grab you too. Right. Those are the two sensitive areas. So with those two things in mind, I don't know if it's something you're interested in or not, but or any of the viewers out there that or listeners that want to, have a difficult snake and you want to try to work with it a little bit, that's a pro tip if you want, or just a Rob tip, whatever, call it whatever you want.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. We're going to have a new segment here called Just the Tip.
Yep. The tip, the whole tip, and nothing but the tip.
That could be your shorts for snippets of your episodes. Just the tip, and just snippets of tips from the episodes.
Yeah, but we're going to call them short shots. Just the tip with short shots. Short shorts. I don't know.
Before we get away from the enclosures, you guys mentioned some playgrounds that would go in there. I'm not super familiar with them. I'd imagine some people listening maybe aren't either. Any elaboration on what that looks like, or what that is, or if people can create something like that at home, or
so mine is this vertical component here. It opens up. You can access them if you need them. But the nice thing is you can leave it closed. So like I would, I love letting my snakes out and interacting with them. But if my son needs something or whatever, I've got to go. I like that because it allows them basically give them a day, right? And just cycle through who has access to it. And okay. I think anybody could build that. I mean, if you have even if you have one snake and you have a PVC enclosure, I don't think it would be very hard to cut a hole in that and build wood or PVC, the same kind of thing. It doesn't have to be like mine where it mates up perfectly. You could have a tower coming off of your enclosure, bolt them together so it's secure and you don't have to worry about it tipping or the animal getting out. And you could build the same thing at your house. I'm all for that. I mean, obviously I try and sell enclosures, but I'll give people tips all day to build their own. And I want to see people build cool stuff for their animals. I mean, they're going to have ideas that I didn't have and vice versa. And we're all going to benefit the more we discuss it. So, but yes,
love that.
So basically you just pull one of these out and it opens it up to the animal in this enclosure. There's a hole inside of both enclosures that allow it to open up and allow the animal to pass through. So
I think any animal that uses that in nature, I mean, my carpet pythons, I have the 4x2x2s that have big wood fixtures and like hollow, almost like created hollow tree bark for them to go into, and they use all of it. I encourage people to give the snakes what they can. I'm not pro tub, pro cage, whatever, but whatever you can give your snake, definitely look out for their best interest and give them something. Even if you have tubs and you have the means, like put some cork in there so they can like crawl over something, hide under something, just something to enrich it just a little bit. But I think that is just such a cool idea, and just give the animals as much as you can. It's the least we could do.
Well, and one thing that I did, that was very inexpensive and very effective, especially when my animals were smaller. I bought a basket from like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. It's just, wire wrapped in, I don't know, straw, something natural. But it's a wire basket that's probably 2.5 feet in diameter. And I tied some rope to the top of that and put a hook in the ceiling, and I hung it so the bottom of it's maybe 4 feet off the ground. And I just set the animals on that while I serviced their enclosure. They loved weaving through the wires on the basket. They climb up the rope. There's nowhere to
Nice.
go, so they come back down, and it gave them great exercise. I really do think having animals go into the same space or onto the same object, man, their tongue starts going like crazy. I think that's good mental stimulation for them, and it's safe because there's no contact, there's no ability, for a fight or anything like that.
Did you ever meet Nate Davis when he was breeding?
I don't think I did.
You know who he is? He was a consigner for Reach Out Reptiles. Was out of Michigan.
I don't think so.
He had one of those dome jungle gyms at
Yeah.
playgrounds upside down and mounted to a ceiling.
That's
And I'll
awesome.
tell you what, man, when I walked in his place and seen that, I was like, dude,
That's another
is
level.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
only caution I would give anybody hanging things,
Oh, yeah.
especially the higher it gets and the bigger the animal is, if they go to the bathroom, the splatter will be bigger the higher they are. So
Yes. Get it on video and send it to us.
yeah.
We want to highlight you in another podcast.
Is America's Funniest Home Videos still a thing? I don't even know.
We're going to call this snake urines.
Making it rain.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen people use cat trees and stuff like that. I've seen people with the jungle gym just regular. I've seen, Eric Lee built like a thing out of PVC. There's so many options that you could find and do. And I think people should make something, right? Like we can make anything. You can spend $20. I think I spent $15 on the basket and $5 for some cheap rope at Home Depot, and it made it such a difference, frankly, for me, because I know they're not getting into anything or under anything, and they're getting exercise while you're doing it. The only caution or the benefit, I think, to me, having it off the ground where it's not connected to the ground, if it's high enough, the animal can't go down to the ground unless they fall, and a retic. None of my retics are going to fall. So
Right.
Yeah. So do you find like if you give them something with height that they're going to go up to that high area and stay up there? Yeah.
Even cleaning when I'm getting them out, if I'm holding them, they're trying to get on top of the stacks, and they're probably 7 foot 8 inches tall for the taller two. They're trying to go up there immediately. To the point, I used to keep tubs up there and stuff just stored up there.
Ooh.
I don't want to get hit by 20 tubs coming down because one of them decided that they were going to pull them onto my head.
Yeah, my luck, it hit me, hit the floor, break. Now I'm replacing all the tubs, going to the hospital because I'm gushing blood. Yeah, it's just a bad thing. Yeah.
It's funny how retics teach you accident prevention sometimes after accidents.
Yeah. I never knew I needed an extra roll of paper towels in there to sop up the blood, but now that I've been getting bit, yeah.
I have an actual towel just in case, because paper towels can get saturated very quick.
Oh, yeah, especially with urine.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I get scared sometimes too, Rob. It's okay.
The things you learn keeping giant snakes. Yeah.
I had Mila one time. I was holding her, and this is, again, lessons earned or remembered longer than lessons learned. Mila had her tail down my back, and she started to go. And so, I tried to arch my back to get away from it. Well, what does she do? Keeps her tail right against me to hold on. There was no getting away. She might as well have poured a 20-ounce bottle down my back.
I love that.
It was so much that it was running down the slope. This is a pad that the room was built on. And so it used to be exterior, so there's a slope. it was running down the slope. There was so much, and at that point, like all you can do is laugh, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And make sure
Yeah.
that you check that area next time so that you never have that happen again.
I
Right.
found out just recently that my wife really finds it funny when I get urinated on. And she had no idea how often I get urinated on. She was like, wow, this happens a lot. Yep.
Yeah, that snake was vindictive. It really wanted it to sting. That's for sure.
Yeah. She stored up a lot for that one.
Oh, yeah. The bigger the snake, the more urine. And I'll tell you, like Karma. Oh, man. She would fill up. I want to say at least like a gallon sometimes, man. And it would just keep coming. And when I had her, I had carpet on the floor in the area that she was at. Oh man. We moved and I had to rip that carpet up.
Oh yeah.
Soaked it for
I've seen
years.
people with like carpet and stuff like that, and like it makes it nicer and great. Never. Not with my snakes for that reason. Like I hate the way this beat up concrete looks, but I've got future plans. I'm not going to do anything to this. I'll do epoxy at the next setup, but no, nothing that can absorb anything will ever be under my snakes.
Lessons have been learned.
Yeah. It may spread further on a hard surface, but it's easier to clean.
Oh, mop and bucket. Yeah, you're done, man. Or just paper towels, unless they're already wet.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I prepared myself for with Retics was recreational water park maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easier stuff to clean up too. Out of the two, I would say.
Yeah.
Since mine are starting to get bigger, right? 7 and 8 years old are my two oldest. Like they're not big, they're not that old. I'm not trying to portray it like it's bigger than it is, but man, it's some of the stuff is like, holy cow, that came out of you? That could not have felt good during, but I'm sure you feel better now.
Yeah, that looks like a small dog.
Yeah. The neighbors had one. I haven't seen it.
Oops.
While we're on the topic, Jordan, do you happen to have like a specific feeding regimen with your animals, or like do you happen to just go based off of feeling, or how do you go about it with them?
I have a general kind of guideline, but it's largely based on how they're looking. Smaller animals eat more frequent, or younger animals eat more frequently. That's more of a set schedule. As they get older, I play around with it. I like to give big meat, not crazy big, but good big meals, and then let them go for a little longer and give medium small. I like to try and vary it up. So with the prey size variation, the time correlates to that. But it's small young animals are eating every week. Then we go to 2 weeks for big meals, 3 weeks, maybe more, depending on what it is. Now that is going to be only for the older females. And it's still going to be dictated by how they're looking when they process and all that.
Dictated.
I know Rob couldn't help himself. But do you have like a record ridiculous prey item size that you've fed before, or anything that's just really out there?
It's definitely not a record, but my biggest is probably like 4.5, 4 3/4 pound pig. I've switched over to rabbits more frequently now. I wish I could get rabbits at the price of pigs, but for frankly the cleanup, rabbits are the way to go, in my opinion.
I don't know pricing, but if you talk to Conkey, I know Conkey had a Ryan Conkey.
Oh no, I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah,
Wait, yes, I did. Now that you say that,
yeah, ask him.
okay.
Kansas to it's escaping me. Cheese place, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I don't know how far that is.
Cheese.
Cheese. Wisconsin.
I was with
Yeah.
you. My in-laws are from Wisconsin, so if nothing else, maybe I can pick some up.
There you go. Yeah, but reach out to him. I don't know if he has the shipping and anything figured out yet.
Okay.
But I do know that he was saying, I heard through Rodney's podcast, he had some pigs that he was selling, or he took some pigs up to Tinley this year or something.
Okay.
Or not pigs, I'm sorry, rabbits.
Yeah,
Rabbits.
yeah. And I still have pigs. I will probably still get pigs and mix it up, you know. Again, I think variety only benefits them. And I'm not, you know, I've done a lot of research into a lot of things, but I'm no expert on protein to calcium to fat, what each one has. And so if I'm not going to put in the, you know, truly due diligence to really master that understanding, I think giving them a full gambit is the best approach. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
the smaller ones eat quails and rats and, you know, all sorts of other stuff. As they get bigger, quail becomes, you know, not cost effective. The only thing I haven't done is
Obsolete.
chickens yet.
Is what?
Chickens.
They don't digest the last bit of the feather, that real hard, thick white part. They can't digest that. So when they eat a big chicken or a goose or a duck or something like that, you'll see like hundreds of those little feathers throughout the enclosure, depending on how long you've let them crawl around in it. It's messy. I do it every once in a great while because I like that diversity. But chicken it's a pain.
Good to know, so I don't go out and buy a bunch without knowing it.
Yeah. And if you do, when you euthanize those things, I'm assuming that you would get them live. I don't know why, but what the heck? Let's take a little stroll down this road. When you get them and you euthanize them in small batches. What I found is if you euthanize a lot before you get them all bagged and put in the freezer, the rigor mortis sets in real quick.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was the experience I had. One time I went through a guy's chicken farm and he was like, well, they're live. Do what you got to do. I've got some horror stories when it comes to feeding. Derek has heard some stories. I'm sure you've heard some stories. I tried to feed a cow once. But we won't get into that tonight. That's a podcast in itself.
Talk about record food size.
Yeah, it was a 64-pound Jersey cow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But proportionally, I know that is a big meal, but if you're talking a 200-pound snake, proportionally what I see some of mine put down, it makes sense.
Yeah, when I owned Karma, the most I had ever fed her at one time was it was a span of 3 days, because I didn't have the time to sit there and feed her a prey item and then feed her a prey item. But I just wanted to see how much could she eat. And she ate almost 120 pounds, I think. If I remember correctly, it was over 100 pounds.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of food.
Yeah, she blew up like you wouldn't believe. I've never seen a snake blow up like that.
Dude, a pound of ground beef at the store is already too much. What the hell are we doing 120?
There was
farm
some
friends,
rabbits, neighbor kid. It was an experience. One of the prey items, I'll say, was the majority of that, and that was. I mean, I had a bowl of popcorn, just sat there and watched. Man, loved it.
Yeah, that's got to be a sight to behold for sure.
Oh yeah. These snakes are really impressive. Wouldn't you agree, Jordan? Like what they're capable of is amazing.
It never ceases to amaze me. Every time I think like this is the biggest that they can or should get, I learn that I'm wrong, and I see people that, from all my accounts, seem to be doing it right. And what the food size, just anything, they're amazing creatures. The intelligence, frankly, hardiness of them. I'm almost cautious to talk about how hardy they are because, I worry that people will be like, I don't have to take care of that, but no, they're an apex or a keystone species for a reason. I mean, you don't get to that point in history and just longevity of a species without being a very impressive animal on multiple fronts.
Flexibility at its finest, my man.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Flexibility.
ability to adapt.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Man, I love that species.
Yeah. They're just so cool. I mean, I can tell you if life fails, Eve, that's going back and forth. That's why I keep looking. She's distracting me. And Mila, my first girl, like, don't get me wrong, I love them all, and they all have their own special quirks. But those two will be in a suitcase with me when I'm homeless. You know, they are the most. Sorry, Riley, my dog. They're the most important pets I have in my house. I love them to death.
Riley, don't listen, buddy.
He's asleep. He's either asleep or too hyper to hear or care. You know.
Same. Awesome, man. Awesome. I tell you what, man, I could talk to you all night, brother. I'd love to have you on again whenever you're ready. Anything comes up in your life and you want to talk about it, or you just want to talk again, man, let me know.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll always make time to come on. Like I've said, I'll be on anybody's podcast. I'll be on a select few multiple times, and I'd be honored to come back again. So
yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully this is one of them. Yeah.
No, it's always a good time.
All right,
well,
cool.
Rob and I, we got to know each other in person when I was out there welding the hopefully soon to be Karma Enclosure together. And I say that in good fun for Garrett,
Yeah.
But now that's how we met, and just a blast to be around, man. And so I'm really glad that you guys are doing this podcast, because like we talked about, I was so selfishly disappointed when Fat Snake Tuesday disappeared, because that was my, I'm going to put it on, I'm going to do my chores and just love hearing Retics. And so I'm really glad that there's something that's going on again, and I'm glad that you guys are the ones doing it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, definitely, like, the community's been needing something like this for Retics from what I've been hearing, and it just so happened that Rob and I were I guess Rob really did the footwork and just really just put on a good show, with his podcast. And he just kind of, dragged me along and was like, hey, you got to be on this podcast, or else, bad things are going to happen to you. You're going to wake up in a basement somewhere. And I just kind of had to go along with it. So,
yeah. You see me in a dark room with a flashlight, something.
I've heard that giggle. Run.
yeah.
Giggle.
I can't. I have to go to work sometime.
It's coming. I hear the giggle.
I'll tell Justin, but he won't believe me.
No. He's never heard the. Well, no, he's heard the giggle. Yeah.
The last time I heard that giggle, sorry, one last interjection, was
go for it.
Was when we were there and Garrett was handling a tarantula, which you knew my feelings about.
Oh boy.
Rob, I don't remember if a noise came out or not, but if it did, it was the most feminine, high-pitched noise that's come out of me in at least 20 years. I'm talking sheer terror.
Oh
yeah.
Scared the hell out of me. I was looking at the spider, and all it took was like a grab and a noise, just terrified.
Pull me off.
Dude,
the
I'll
ceiling,
tell you,
man.
I cannot with spiders. I can deal with just about anything else, but I'm getting chills thinking about spiders. Like, they're not my jam, man. I can appreciate them from afar, like the cute little close-ups of jumping spiders and stuff like that. But just like imagining them on my hand.
Jumping ones?
Bro, there's flying ones.
Nah.
You're screwed, buddy.
4 legs, 0 to 4 legs is what I work with.
Yeah,
I think somebody crossed
the
the DNA of a caterpillar and a spider once, and it created like some kind of flying hybrid. And I don't know if it was a fake post or what, but it was years ago, and it scared the shit out of me.
As far as I'm concerned, that could be a weapon of mass destruction.
Mm-hmm. Worse than drones, definitely.
I'm gonna put spiders in the category of like unicorns. I'm okay if I never see one.
Fair enough, man. Amen to that.
People tell me
I tried to get over it. I got a little jumping spider, like, because I know it's an irrational fear, right? Like, especially for something the size of a fingernail. But
Not quite
I'm sure it's
irrational.
rational.
I got good with my jumping spider, but at a show somebody was like, "Oh, you need a Arizona blonde or whatever. They're really calm or this or that." Like, I'm afraid that if I have it, I'll spaz out and fling it and hurt the animal. I don't want to hurt it, but I don't think I want to feel those little feet gripping and crawling on me.
Yeah.
No, thanks, man. I'm a freaking
And the ones that flick their hairs off at you, like that's like serious business too, from what I hear. Like they're like it'll get in your eye and it'll really fuck you up.
All right, let's talk retics. Fuck those spiders.
Yeah. Back to
I
zero.
didn't know they grew hairs. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. No joke.
The one that you threw me at probably could have, Rob. You almost sacrificed me.
I threw it at you.
No, you threw me at it. You were behind me.
I'm scared of that shit.
Sacrifice.
So let's talk Karampa.
Yes. Karampas are beautiful. I don't have
Do they
any.
bite? Yes, but they don't throw hairs. They don't jump. They don't fly.
Yeah. They're pretty. They're intelligent. I like them.
Yeah, I mean, they got like 200 some teeth in there or whatever, but that's
they'll only send you to the emergency room and completely inconvenience your whole life, but it's all good.
But I understand them. I'm not saying that they won't do something unpredictable.
That's the line. I understand
it. And I tried to educate myself on spiders with the logic that if you understand it, you won't fear it. It made it worse. It made it way worse. So, nope. Yeah. Snakes, retics, I'm good.
But I'll tell you what, though, like a praying mantis, I don't know how many legs those things have. They have more than four, I think. I've held one of those. Those are amazing. Yeah. Those are cool.
I'm the same.
Chopper things that they've got.
I like how you say that. Yet the praying mantis is one of the most brutal freaking metal creatures in the animal kingdom. Literally eating live insects from the face.
Oh yeah,
and their partners.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, they're cool.
But they don't have fangs. Spiders have fangs. I'm with you. Like, we used to go camping in Arkansas when I was a kid. There were stick bugs and praying mantises all over, and it was just part of it. They were cool little bugs. There's just something about spiders that unnerves me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about them anymore.
Like the cave dwelling ones? What? Why?
If we're talking cave dwelling, let's talk about retics that hunt bats.
Yes. Snatch them right out of the air.
Yeah.
Love it, man. That is awesome.
Well, as much as I love talking about invertebrates, I think we've beat that horse. That horse dead plenty.
Yeah.
But Jordan, I really love what you had to show with your enclosures and what enrichment you give your animals, man. Really setting the bar for that. I think people should be more creative with how they enrich their animals' lives and not just give them a enclosure with a hide or so on and so forth. At least if they're able to,
Yeah.
So good on you for that. And
real quick, I think people make things more complex than they need to be. This is literally scrap wood from a little project. Sticks or branches outside. Grab a few things, make a weird shape, screw and zip tie it together so it won't fall apart and potentially have them tip over and maybe get hurt. Make it secure. You can make stuff out of anything, and anything is better than nothing. So
I think this is the perfect time to say my favorite line. Our imagination is our only limitation.
True. It really is. Yeah.
Trademark. Well, but also, I mean, the only thing is you just need something to put all that stuff in, which you happen to have an answer for, Jordan. Where would you have people reach out to you if they're interested in, looking into your enclosures that you're making?
Instagram is the fastest way. Reach out on Instagram, just Heartland Reptiles. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm just not as quick to check it. I'll give people my email and cell phone. That's not a problem. I do have heartlandreptiles.com. The website is not up and complete yet, but the goal is to have it done in April. So next month, it
Cool.
may still be under construction, but it'll be up there. I have the domain and all of that. So I'm going to start getting the enclosures up there, getting the animals on there, and have one place where everybody can really go to look at stuff, and I can put up videos and stuff that kind of cover the more generalized questions, I guess. So
Is that where I would go to get some swag?
In the future, yes. Right now, Instagram.
Instagram to get some swag?
Yep.
Gotcha. Make sure if Rob orders something, make sure he pays for 2, so I get one.
You guys tell me your sizes. I'll get some stuff down there. Just tell me the address. I got you covered.
I'm an extra
Alright.
small. What are you, Derek?
I'm a quadruple large.
Quadruple large. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to send those, and Derek, I need you to get a picture of Rob in an extra small, and that'll be his payment for it. And
I'll tell you what, dude.
Got
You
it.
send it, I'll wear it.
Got it.
I know you will. I know
He
you
will. He'll wear it to work.
Zero shame, brother. Zero.
Got a midriff going.
Oh,
Absolutely. Oh
I'll
my
get some
God.
jeans and cut them off real short and wear the whole outfit.
We'll make a Canova video for social media, and he'll just keep parading around in it. It'll be funny.
That's the way it goes. I wear the Heartland shirt, super small, cut off jean shorts that are really Daisy Dukes, right? I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but if you don't, look it up. And I go to work like that.
I know you will.
Yep.
I mean, that's the beauty of it.
And that's why I'm on the other side of the facility.
I go into work tomorrow. Justin's going to pull me aside and be like, hey, I heard what's happening. We can't do that.
There wasn't a dress code before, but now there is.
And you got to go see HR.
You're the guy for the rule. Well done.
Yeah, if there's not one, you're going to have a bunch of rules after me. That's awesome.
Well, all right, guys. As always, if you want to reach out to Rob, he's at Island Morphs on Instagram, and the website's just islandmorphs.com, isn't it? Or what's the URL for that?
Yeah, so my email is rob@islandmorphs.com, and the website is islandmorphs.com.
Okay. Perfect. And mine is Stacked Exotics on Instagram. And of course, Jordan, like he said, is Heartland Reptile. So reach out to any of us if you have any questions about this episode or anything that Jordan's producing as far as Retics go, his enclosures, or any Retics that Rob is also producing, which we've got some stuff on the way for both of these guys. But everyone, thank you so much for showing up and participating tonight. Really nice to see people active in the comments tonight. But it's been a really, really wonderful evening. Do you guys have any parting words before we go?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I had a lot of fun.
Appreciate you, brother. Stick around after we close this. I want to ask you something off camera because it's personal.
Definitely.
On that note, guys, y'all have a wonderful night. We're going to go ahead and end the stream, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great